Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this. 6 and 6 TV, 6 minutes of basketball talk coming at you, Kevin and Elton. Kevin, nice road win against a very up and down team, very schizophrenic team, Minnesota. Is they can be great on their day. And yesterday, not so much. I think yesterday was a case of us being too strong. Tell me your thoughts on the game.
Yeah, great game overall. We finally have our full roster. So Van Vliet comes
That's it.
back. Yeah, so Van Vliet came back, 29 points on his return, something ridiculous, 7 for 8 from three, which is like unheard of. Because before he got injured, I mean, he wasn't hitting, and I was kind of worried about him. So hopefully this is the norm for him. Norman Powell, another good night. The only person, I'm not trying to be negative here, but OG, not really on the score sheet. I think he only had 2 points and still played like 25 minutes. So still need more production from him. But I mean, overall, it was a good win, like you said. Good road win, never in question really throughout that game. And kudos to our boy Wiggins on the other side for a good game, triple double.
Yeah, we'll give OG some space here because he had a strong showing the last two games. Sam Mitchell, I think it was Sam Mitchell yesterday with an interesting comment saying no one will want to face the Raps when they're completely healthy. This is the same Sam Mitchell who had the Raptors at 8 this year.
Yeah.
So, all right, 1-2 punch. Lowry and Van Vliet absolutely dominating yesterday. Way too strong for the Wolves to handle. Talk to me about Van Vliet's performance coming back from a injury and just firing on all cylinders yesterday.
Yeah, man, it was nice to see. It was, the Freddie of old, I would say, for me at least, because before this injury, I felt like he was a little bit shaky. But yeah, I mean, to go 7 for 8, 29 points, after injuries unheard of. And I mean, him and Kyle were kind of feeding off each other. Lowry had a good shooting night from three as well. I think he was 5 for 9 or 5 for 8, something like that. So really good 3-point shooting night. And when those guys are hitting threes like that, it's going to be very tough to beat the Raptors with the other production we're getting from the rest of this team.
Does that settle?
Dynamic duo.
Does that settle the debate about the starting lineup? I can't remember what you said yet. The last debate about who should start. I think you said Van Vliet should start and Norm come off the bench.
Yeah. I still think that, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the league is moving to, it's conducive to success to have as many ball handlers in the court. So I would agree as well. Wiggins for 30 seconds to tell me about Wiggins triple double. He's still only 24. Can this guy ever be a top 10 superstar? Because right now he's like top 25. I don't even think he's close to top 10.
Yeah. I don't see it being a top 10. I just don't know if he has it. I haven't seen enough of him, but even watching him yesterday, I don't know if he has level gear where he could just, give me the ball. I'm going to go get us 2 points. I don't necessarily see that. I think he settles a little bit. Yeah, anything's possible, I guess. I don't see it. But I mean, again, kudos to him for getting a triple-double last night. 18, 10, and 11 or something like that. But no, he had a good night. You always cheer for the boy because he's Canadian, right? 24 years old. Maybe he's going to get a little bit better and turn into, up his production to another level. But I don't see it yet.
Yeah, you know what? I think from a mentality standpoint, I don't know if he'll ever get there.
Very true. You're right.
Like DeRozan, I hate to use his name, but there's players like him who can never break through that barrier and really put the team on their back. So Wiggins, you know what? If Wiggins ends up with DeRozan's career, it won't be so bad. Okay, very quickly. Next to topics about trades. Portland and Sacramento, 5-player trade. Was this more saving money on Portland's part? Does this do anything to any of those teams or improve any of those teams?
I think this is more of like a money play. I think there's going to be some shifting right now where teams are kind of doing something for the now with respect to freeing up money and thinking about the future. So some of these are just, whatever trades. I would say this seems like one of those. It's not like any huge pieces within the mix. So I think to your point, it's a little bit of, moving money around.
Yeah, I mean, Ariza may add some veteran presence and some stability to Portland, but nothing much. Woj yesterday came out with a little snippet snippet of information that probably should be unpacked. He said, contrary to belief, with all the expiring contracts we have with Ibaka, Gasol, people who you would have thought may have been up for real discussion about being traded at this time of the year. He said quite the opposite. He said the Raptors are actually looking to add talent. Number one, does that excite you? And number two, what kind of talent are they looking for?
It excites me to the point where, are we really going to improve the team? 100%. It's exciting that way. But I think at the end of the day, based on the team we have right now, everybody being healthy, I'm going to revert back to what I said earlier on our show, which is I think the Raptors need to stand pat and, go with this team unless it's going to be a significant improvement or a significant upgrade. And I don't see that out there. So for that reason, yes, it's exciting. Anytime the Woj talks about the Raptors, it's a good thing, right? That's exciting to hear. I just don't see the improvement out there, and I don't think you want to ruin what we have now with a healthy team. Let's just ride this out.
It'll be interesting to see how Masai is kind of dealing with this time. Little pockets of talent. OKC as well, saying that they're ready to do business. We'll see if Masai is capable of plucking another gem out. Lastly, I think, if I'm not mistaken, San Antonio has just beaten Miami. Means that the Raptors are officially one game away from second place. Close to the All-Star game, close to halfway the season. I don't think anybody would have predicted us even close to second place. What does that mean? And do you really think the Raptors maintain second place and finish up at second at the end of the season?
I definitely think we can. I think you're starting to see it, right? All these games, even when we're on the road, we're starting to get favored by -5, -10. So they obviously can tell that based on what happened at the start of the year with our team, that we're the real deal. And I think now that people have seen that and we got a healthy team, the league's taking notice, teams are taking notice. We're a good team, right? People realize that now we've got enough within this group to be competitive. So second place is, easily attainable if we can stay healthy now and get this group firing on all cylinders, which they have been.
Yeah, I think if we go in second place, it's such a massive difference in the caliber of team you're facing after that sixth spot. I mean, look at 1 through 6: Milwaukee, Miami, Toronto, Boston, Indiana, Philly. If we finish, outside of 1 or 2, that's a tough first round series. Outside of that, you're getting Orlando or Brooklyn, one of those teams. So kudos to the Raps, man. Again, just surpassing expectations and cementing their place as an elite team again without Kawhi.
Hold on, you think they should make a trade?
Yeah, I think so. I think minimal impact trade. I don't know how Masai gets that done. There's probably a spot for some more 3-point shooting and some Ds. It's tough to add 3 without a D. I know how much Nick Nurse values someone coming on board and playing defense. For example, we talked about JJ Redick last time. You had some crazy fan proposing a norm for Redick trade. Right. Okay. He can come on. He can score a bunch of points. All of his defensive schemes that Nurse has, they just go to crap. There's the liability when you have a guy on the court who can't defend. Similar to the way Matt Thomas is being played right now. Nurse is not using him for very important times in the game. I know why, because it's because he's a defensive liability. So if you can get a guy who can add both defense and maybe add a tiny bit of scoring here and there, then that'll be huge. I know a guy like
PJ Tucker.
PJ Tucker, he's not going anywhere. A guy like was mentioned who can shoot the 3, but Siakam torched him yesterday on a couple of opportunities. So we'll see what Masai does, man. He's I'm sure he's in his lab concocting some special formula to make a trade happen. He is.
Yeah, for sure. Make it happen, Masai. Make it happen.
All right, guys, we're out. We're a little bit over, but it's exciting. It's exciting for the Raps, again, doing what they're doing. So we'll call it a day. Good night. God bless.
Peace.